welcome to the Brutal Game. As always, I'm Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
Maybe I got a little worried.
Yeah.
He disappeared.
Wait. That is me. I do have to say something here.
And of course, we have Ron.
What's happening?
And on tonight's episode of the Brutal Game, episode 283, we're going to kick things off straight away with our 2-minute drill as we bounce around between the FA Cup and the Champions League, with the last four in England's oldest cup competition now all set, and the first legs of the quarterfinals in Europe's top competition concluding today. Then, as the halftime whistle blows, the Fast and Furious 7 starring Hato and Garnacho and the I always say his name wrong. Rosenior. There we go. It's senior with a rose in front of it. Rosenior.
Yes.
Rosenior likes to. So Rosenior likes to beat up on League One clubs. Ron shares with us all the news that's fit to drink in Ron's beer news. Rosenior. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Furious 7 starring Hato and Garnacho. It sounds like Hobbs and Shaw.
It does.
Like Fast and Furious 14 or something.
It took me a second to realize like why you did it that way. And then I was like, oh, yes. Hobbs. Okay. Yeah. I get you.
The first goal scorer and the last of the 7. So why not?
The Fast and Furious 7 starring Hato and Garnacho. Yeah, I get it. Hobbs and Shaw. I'm with you. And then for the second half, we will once again check in with Scottish correspondent for an update on the Scottish Premiership, then kick it back to Ferris for an update on the NWSL, check in on the National League, all before hitting some so positive, upbeat, let's make everyone happy news coming out of this summer's World Cup. I feel that said with a nod and a wink, and all of that and possibly more in our La Liga's roundup. But first, our beer. I have beer with a little slice of history about the area. I know that I've had this brewery on way back when, because the guy who is the head brewer at Lancaster Brewing is a friend of mine, and I believe I had it back down in Florida. He like brought some down that we tried, but if it's been on there, it's been a very long time. So Lancaster Brewing Company is, and I live here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Ron has been to Lancaster Brewing, and I would invite you when you come back up to go again, because now that our buddy Mark Brownworth is there, when I lived here prior, I always felt like Lancaster Brewing was fine. It was fine craft beer. And now I find them a lot better, way more consistent. Their distillery, their bourbon just won like a national award this past year. So they're like cranking out some good stuff. But, I found this cool because their history on their About Brewing put out a thing of beer history for this particular area I'm living in that I was not aware of. So from the brewing history on the Lancaster Brewing website, it says, we brewed Lancaster's first commercial beer in nearly 40 years. We didn't just fire up kettles. We reignited a legendary brewing tradition. So brewing in Lancaster goes way back, like powdered wigs and horse-drawn wagons back. It started in the early 1700s with British settlers crafting hearty ales in the back rooms of inns and taverns. Then came the Germans with great timing and even better beer, introducing crisp, clean lagers that helped put Lancaster on the brewing map. This is the part I wasn't aware of. By 1810, this little corner of Pennsylvania was cranking out over 200,000 barrels a year, more than 7% of all beer brewed in the U.S. at the time. Even legendary writer and beer fan Henry L. Mencken took note, calling Lancaster the Munich of America. I had no idea that was the case back in the early 1800s. Yeah. And then, of course, World War I came along with coal restrictions and prohibition, and the 14 thriving huge breweries here were all forced to go dark, officially at least. Unofficially, let's just say creativity flowed as freely as the underground beer lines. In 1932, a city worker even found a hose in the sewer connecting a brewery to a secret keg operation. So that's the movie we need to fund. That's the independent film that we need to tell. So yeah, and that story is a familiar one across a lot of places in America where brewing was happening, and like the beers that what we became known for, things like Budweiser, was not where we started. And it is cool. And so there's a lot of history like that of what could our beer have been if we hadn't taken that little pause. But at any rate, so I'm doing Lancaster Brewing, and I'm doing a staple of theirs. This is the one they're known for. It's their milk stout brewed with milk sugar. Proud to present America's original craft milk stout. I'll have to look that up, see if that's the case. Notes of coffee, milk chocolate, and roasted malt goodness play counterpoint to a subtle sweetness from the addition of milk sugar. Still the best. You can't go wrong with our award-winning Lancaster Milk Stout. And I don't think I've done a stout on this show in a while now.
Yeah, we haven't done much dark beer of late.
Well, it's back to freeze warnings for me last night, tonight, and the next 2
Really?
nights. Yeah, it's freaking winter again. So I was in shorts on the weekend, and now it's like it was nice on Friday and Saturday. Then Easter Sunday was dark gray and like 40 degrees. So milk stout seemed appropriate.
Fair enough. I mean, it's been a little like rainy and stuff here, but we ain't gotten that cold.
Yeah, mid-70s for us.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys officially finish your Australian roulette? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was last week. Thank the Lord. We're back to I think we have some Canadian stuff on.
Yeah,
that's
they made much better beer.
Yeah, but my entertainment value just went way down in this show because I was very much enjoying you guys going through the Australian roulette.
My stomach and mouth appreciate us going to this beer.
So, in the continuing effort to clean out the beer fridge, I have a Canadian beer from Big Rock Brewery, which is they have branches in Calgary, Toronto, and Vancouver. We have Lake Fever Lager, which is associated with the most famous Canadian band of all time. Blake, do you happen to know?
That would be Rush.
So that would have been my guess.
No.
I know you told me earlier and I completely forgot.
Man, it's not Rush.
Well, it wasn't popular to us. It was popular to Canadians. That's why I say it's the most popular Canadian
band or singer. Like, is it a band name or like?
It's a band name. You have undoubtedly heard of it. Having lived.
Is Wham Canadian?
Wake me up before you drink beer.
I mean, I know Ryan Reynolds makes a lot of Wham jokes, so that's my brain went. I was like, what else is like Canadian?
Tragically Hip.
Wasn't Celine Dion?
Oh, Tragically Hip. Celine Dion is French Canadian. You're correct. Ron could sing all of her discography for us right now if you wanted to.
I could, but she is not a band.
No, I understand that, but you should name a beer after in Canada.
I know, right?
So someone should.
So, the Tragically Hip Lake Fever Lager. It is...
I haven't thought about those guys in a long time.
Wait, who? All right, hold on. Who is the band? I'm sorry.
The Tragically Hip.
That's the name of the band.
The Tragically Hip.
Okay,
yeah.
So okay.
Canadians.
I kept thinking you were talking about the beer. I'm like, okay, I know what the beer name is. Damn it, tell me the band name.
No, the beer name is Lake Fever Lager.
Okay, but it's basically hip, or what is it?
Tragically.
They hit in 1989. Is when they first Ron, like mid 90s is when they were really hot.
Yeah, so they started in 1984, but they didn't really catch legs for quite a bit of time. And they were really they really gained popularity like 1992 to 1997, 98, 93. Like ever since then, they were just like a powerhouse. They had albums that were number one in Canada for, forever. Sadly, in 2015, the talisman of the band, whose name was Gord Downey. He was diagnosed with
like a brain cancer, right?
Yeah, glioblastoma, a terminal form of brain cancer. So the band announced his diagnosis May of 2016, but they also announced that despite his condition, he was going to tour that summer. So for the album that they had just released, so it was their 13th album released in June of 2016, and they went on a massive tour, which was ultimately the band's last tour as he died October of 2017. And so the last concert was that the band played was basically this, was Downey's farewell to the country. And it was streamed over the internet, played over the radio, and on TV all at the same time. And it still has the highest viewership of any show ever in Canada.
49 million streams.
Yeah.
Like for Canadian, like that's, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at this, man. Wrote a song to be performed as the final song at the last concert. Holy cow, man.
Yeah.
Talk about going out the way you want to. I mean, not, or going out saying what you want to. I'll put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. He went out on his terms in that respect, right? The band is not releasing any music under that name anymore. All the members of that band are, pursuing other musical talents and all that. But this beer is an ode to Canadians' most popular band of all time to date, the Tragically Hip Lake Fever Lager.
That's awesome.
It is a 5% 5% ABV. If you're following home, and I can't wait to try it.
Heck yeah, man! Crack that bad boy.
Oh, I failed at that. We always mention it, and I totally forget. Mine is 5% ABV. Pour in a pint glass, and I think I will.
Sure. Take that.
You guys ready, Chow?
Yep. We opened ours. Ron's pouring away.
Oh, man, I've not had a milk stout in so long. That sweetness just hits as soon as you crack it open.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Oh, this is what a beer smells like. Thank you, Canada.
Look at that head retention. Yeah.
That's pretty poor there, Blake.
Yeah, it is. Look at that.
We're on the second one, okay? Or I'll give you more.
Cheers, gents. Oh, you're going to attempt to pour out of the shaker glass and not spill any. Well done.
I did
well done.
We did all right.
Yeah. Cheers.
Hey, Solange.
Oh, roasty, chocolatey, hint of the sweet milk lactose. Flipping good. And you know what you chase that down with when you're 45? This here lactose intolerance pill, just in case. I want to be able to sleep tonight. Cheers, gentlemen.
There it is. You got it out there ready.
Nice vanilla flavor, good and chalky texture.
My man.
Yeah, there you go.
My man.
I mean,
talk about tragically hip.
Appropriate.
What's awesome is that he thought, well, I'm having a milk stout, so I better bring my Lactaid. Like, that is the coolest and the oldest thing we have done on this podcast.
It's like, when I pack, if I'm going to be out all day or something like that, you kind of pack like a to-go bag over your shoulder or whatnot. I always throw in their Tums because you can be out eating something, and then all of a sudden you're like, God, my stomach hurt. I can't.
You get it. You get it.
It just happens. It happens.
Yeah. That's exactly
old
it.
age.
Hey, you know what though? I will have no distended belly and bad acid reflux tonight. I will sleep well following this beer. Oh my goodness. You guys still there? I lost you on the camera.
You did? No, we're still here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
As long as you're there. I just want to make sure I did not lose you before we roll on to
yeah, we're still here. As long as you can hear us, we'll figure out the camera situation.
God. Sorry. How is your beer? I was talking about mine and my Lactaid.
It is good. I think it is see it blinking. It's kind of the epitome of the style. It's a little biscuity, kind of think slightly Vienna lager-ish.
Oh God, now I want a Vienna lager.
It does have a slight Vienna lager taste,
but it's not like standout. It's good. And it beats any of the Australian beers we drank.
This 110%. It's Australian for laying down and avoiding. This milk stout is, I forgot because it is one of the ones they're like well known for. It's very light. That sounds like an insult, but it's not an insult. Like it's 5% ABV. I think I'm so used to getting stouts that are a little loaded. That I don't frequently just get like a normal stout. It's usually an extra or whatever. It's like 8% or a double stout. But This thing is really good. It's like super drinkable. Like it's obviously not the small bubbles like a nitrogenated Guinness. This is just although now you can get this on nitro, so I need to try that. Well, I had you
Big Rock Brewing, you did a good job.
Yeah, same Lancaster Brewing. I had you guys on the camera for a hot second.
Yeah, and then we froze. Well, we might just have to be
That's all right.
For a little bit. We'll figure it out.
As long as you're still there, we're still recording, so it's all good. So, shall we get right on over to this 2-minute drill? Is this a real 2-minute drill too? Not a 2x2. Yes, it's a 2-minute drill.
Yeah, it's a 2-minute drill. I mean, with that said, will we actually take 2 minutes on these? Probably not, but there's plenty of time to kind of
do our best.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Go about this.
We'll do what we can. Well, Ferris, shoot, you're first.
Yeah, might as well. Well, Pep and Man City waste no time getting back into playing club football, as following their Chupacabra Cup win over Arsenal, they absolutely smack another top team in Liverpool by a scoreline of 4-0 at the Etihad.
Ouch.
Yep. A hat trick by none other than Erling Haaland was about all they wrote, as City looked to be firing on all cylinders, while the season seemingly gets worse for Liverpool. So we'll get to Liverpool's Champions League match here next, but how good were City in this one, and how bad were Slot and his men?
Is that the takeaway? I mean, was City just consistently with a lot of talent and a good manager, and Liverpool just that bad, or was City that good and Liverpool that bad in this situation? Because Liverpool were really bad.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, we'll get to some stats in the next one, but it was all one-way traffic for the most part in this one. Like, it really wasn't. I mean, I only caught the highlights because this was like the early match. It was the first match coming out of the international break in the FA Cup. But you're talking, have this make sense, as we talked about many times on this pod. 4 goals from Man City, but they only had expected goals of 2.44. Sure. 11 shots, 4 big chances, though. And when you have Haaland kind of firing on all cylinders, and it's like when Haaland got that pen in the 39th, the floodgates just opened. He scored just before half. And that is a brutal time to give up a goal just before half, where, you've already fought for well over half an hour and you're doing okay. You're staying in it. You're away. It's the first cup after the it's the first game after the international break. And then you get the pen, right? And he scores a pen. Okay, it's 1-0. Let's get into the half 1-0, come out the second half. But then they score right before that second half. And that's a kicker. And then even more, they score right on the other end of halftime with Semenyo in the 50th and Haaland in the 57th. Just rough times to give up goals there by Liverpool, and that's where this game got away. And against a team like Man City, they're going to make you pay. That's exactly what they did.
I know that obviously the press is all about Haaland, but I got to say, I know there's a lot of talent on Man City. So if you've got some talent, you could potentially do well there because you're surrounded by talent. Man, Semenyo, what a signing that has been for them. He has slotted right in to their style of play.
Yeah, without
so quick,
without missing a beat. It seems like.
Yeah.
The other thing too is Rodri is finally back from hamstring injury or knee injury.
It was a knee, and I think it was a hamstring. I don't know. I can't remember.
ACL. I'm wrong.
Yeah, it was
ACL.
ACL.
So knee injury, right? But he finally looks like himself again. And that midfield of him and Silva is just an incredible combination for City. They're just so good at the vision, protecting the back line, spraying the balls out wide, and really creating that tactical edge for them, especially with, the weapons they have in front of them, right? Doku was not a slouch in this one either, right? So Rodri coming back. I mean, when he got injured, they went on a big slide.
Yes.
Right. Rodri is, kind of the heart of this team in the midfield. So I think that's that.
Yep, they look quite good again. Boom. That's my turn. Well, let's get it to Liverpool. They had the unfortunate task of taking on champions of Europe. We'll just stay with Liverpool for a moment. Next, they play the champions of Europe as they went away to the Parc des Princes to take on PSG. And it wasn't really even that close, despite the 2-0 scoreline. A goal by Doué in the 11th and Vardashkashli. Good.
Oh, I'm gonna butcher this.
Give it to me, Ferris.
Kvartadashvili. No,
I don't know.
You looked at me like
Vardashvili. Shelia? Okay.
It's weird. When I hear other people say it, like on the broadcast, I can then say it right back.
Yeah,
when I can't say it now. Just
when I read it, yep.
Vardashvili.
But he was definitely two of the main stats in this first leg, but those were surrounded by 74% possession, 18 total shots, 4 big chances, and a 2.2 expected goal. So we ask, does Liverpool have a glimmer of a chance in the second league tie at Anfield?
Second leg, sorry.
Or sorry, second leg, not league. Yep, at Anfield to win this tie.
I can't imagine.
I mean, home, have they, and forgive me for not knowing the top of my head, but like, how's their home been? I mean, they've been inconsistent kind of everywhere. So I don't even know that home advantage really makes a big difference here.
It's Anfield though, right? And I think it's hard to say that any team, especially in this competition, doesn't have a chance, right? I think they're playing the game. I would
say, Ferris, though,
they have to make up two goals, right?
They drew to an Igor Tudor's Tottenham at Anfield, so I will just throw that out. This
is true. But I mean, they definitely, they put their pants on the same way that we do the whole thing. Like they're going out there, they're playing the game. They got to make up 2 goals. They can certainly do that at Anfield against PSG. Obviously, the task gets harder, a lot harder. But they get the 2 goals, they get into extra time. Then who knows what can happen? So I think they do have a chance. Do I think it's a very likely chance? No.
Is the bigger problem that 74% possession stat? That's awful.
Oh, I think so.
That
shocked me when I was bringing up this game earlier.
I mean, you see that 70%, and really you go, PSG, you should be embarrassed. How do you not have a third and fourth goal here? Like,
Dembele was having the most off day, right? He had 3 incredible chances and hit the post on one of them, saved the other 2, but by the absolute fingernails of the keeper, right? I think, as odd as it sounds, I think PSG were also having an off day.
I don't disagree, which is awful scary for Liverpool. I don't know, man. Because really, I think the best they'll get out of this is a draw for this next match, and then they'll still go. I don't see them putting a lot past this crew.
And why isn't Salah in the lineup?
Did he not? This one?
So he's not in the starting 11 and was not subbed in. Why not?
I don't. Was he? I don't know. He was on the bench. I mean, listen, they all just this was kind of their first game back from. Well, no, this wasn't their first game back from. I think he started against Man City, but maybe because it's just a midweek game, they just didn't want to play him.
Why? It's Champions League.
I agree, but he's a little bit older there now. I mean, I don't know. Listen, this is part of why everybody's questioning Slot, right? You're now going to see Salah leave this coming season on a 2-year deal. He's going to leave a year early. You bring in $250 million worth of players that haven't gelled or seemingly haven't gelled as smooth as all had thought. You're worse in the league. You're not consistent. Questionable calls on when you sub people in, who you're playing people in positions for. Why does Kirkez start in this game? Well, just the number of things you can go on about here. But this is why they're questioning Slot, and that's why he's a little bit under fire. If he's even going to make it, not only to December of next year, but to through the summer.
Yeah, that through the summer, but that does start to look more of a question mark to me, particularly if they crash out of this and then fail to forgive me, where we sit at right now, 5th place with 49 points. I mean, Chelsea, and at this point, Brentford, hell, at this point, Everton could surpass them. Oh my God. Could you guys imagine if Everton managed to knock out Liverpool from going to the Champions League? That'd actually be pretty rad.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oni is cursing at the podcast right now. Like, you guys.
I'll say this.
There.
If that scenario occurred where Everton managed to chip away and Liverpool never taking advantage, and Everton managed to slip ahead and snag the 5th slot to Champions League and knock Liverpool out of it, slot will be gone as soon as the season ends. If that scenario happens, absolutely. Absolutely.
As Ferris wrote in the opening, Chelsea Football Club laid the London smackdown on League One bottom of the table Port Vale.
Give Port Vale a round of applause, though. Come on, man.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
7 goals in this game, and they're dead last of League One. Dead last.
But they made it this far. That's crazy
great,
impressive.
wonderful. Right. You just got your kicked out of you in this game. Go ahead.
But didn't we expect that?
Not 7-0. I did not. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
So yeah, 7 goals by 7 different goal scorers in this game.
That's the crazy part, man.
Exactly.
Just total capitulation. There just isn't much more to say.
It's like you're playing FIFA and you need to make an achievement and score with over 6 players, like as your achievement. Click achievement unlocked.
So
you scored 7 goals.
Right. Was this the emphatic win that the Blues and Rosenior needed to kind of elevate the rest of their season now that they're not in Champions League? No.
No, I think it's too, to Ferris's point, I think it's too low of a team in another league to enjoy the crap out of it, but I don't.
But these kinds of things are really good for morale in general.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. But
that's where I was going to go with it.
I don't know that this is going to be a favorably continued hangover into our game against City on Sunday.
That's the problem. It's City
right?
next. If it were like Brentford, who's still playing well, or even like an Everton that are playing, but like it's Man City. It's true. You're like, well, I hope the reverse doesn't happen the following week.
Yeah, especially for how lackadaisical and non-communicative our defense is. Because of their separate remarks, Cucurella and Enzo Fernandez are not likely to start against City, which is a detriment to us. But
wasn't he suspended?
Who?
Enzo?
No, he was benched because of his
that's what it was.
Real Madrid conversations.
How happy has Rosenior got to be about Tottenham? Because he was getting so much stick in the press for stuff he would say and things. And I feel like the whole Igor Tudor and then the signing of the Italian coach, I just forgot his name.
De Zerbi
has kind of, that stuff disappeared a little bit. Like I feel, I'm like, oh man, Rosenior, that spotlight fell off a little bit with everything kind of happening a little bit with Spurs.
Yeah, we'll take that as we can get it.
Yeah, but you do. I understand your feeling of like, hell yeah, 7-0, we're back, baby. Oh my God, Man City is on a roll. Like it's kind of a crappy.
Look, if there's one thing you can count on in this particular season for Chelsea Football Club, it is woeful inconsistency.
Hey, may that continue, and that means you put 8 behind Man City. Bless you and your Chelsea this coming Sunday, my friend.
It does kind of feel like Man City just won some silverware, international break, come back, blow the doors off of Liverpool, 4-0, and then promptly lose to Chelsea 3-0.
It's
right?
true.
It does kind of feel like that's how it's going to play out.
On the other side of the story, you absolutely could see that happening. That is
right.
Maybe this is more of a toss-up Sunday than I was giving it credit for. Like, because you could totally see that happening with the season that they've had so far as well. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I could also see the opposite side of that, where the Chelsea that hemorrhage goals shows up to a gigantic tower of a Norwegian who is in form right now with Rodri coming back. Like, none of that gives me the warm and fuzzies.
It's good to have Rodri back, but I will say, like, man, this guy sounds so stupid. Anybody would want Haaland on their team. However, it is still him or nothing for them, right? Like if he's not doing it, where their inconsistencies tends to happen is if he is being shut out in a game, they find it difficult to score elsewhere. Unlike when they had Kevin De Bruyne and other where that could like get the ball around. So if you can shut down Haaland, man, hey, the Sunday's your oyster.
You might stand a chance, yeah.
Maybe.
All right, popping back over the Champions League yesterday. Bayern Munich put on a performance as they went away to the Bernabeu in the first leg to edge past the Cup's greatest club team in Real Madrid. A pair of goals in the 31st and 46th by Luis Diaz and Harry Kane, respectively, were enough to hold on despite a late push by Madrid, which saw Kylian Mbappe put away one in the 74th minute on back of a beautiful ball by Trent Alexander-Arnold. But what a match in this one, and we ask, how good is this second leg going to be, and who do you got moving on?
Man,
I think it's going to be a pretty phenomenal second match. And despite my lack of enjoyment of Vincent Kompany, I think it's going to end up being Bayern Munich.
Hey, listen, he's doing a heck of a job. I mean,
is he doing that great?
Yes.
He's got the veteran players of veteran players who he's just got to make tiny little tweaks here and there. He's not making major tactical decisions to be, the best coach on the planet here.
No. I don't disagree with you, but the way they're doing it, they're scoring an immense amount of goals, like just a pure immense amount of goals.
You better look who's on your team.
I know, but you look at the league alone. They're a plus 73 goal difference in the Bundesliga. The nearest one is Dortmund with the plus 32. They've blown teams away in the Champions League. They just beat Madrid. And if you remember back a few weeks ago, maybe Blake and I were on the pod together, and I was talking about not Christian Bale, not freaking Batman. Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
Gareth Bale talking about his time at Madrid and how it was just a club that all they kind of look for and what they go for is the Champions League. And how Zidane wasn't necessarily this wonderful all greatest soccer coach. He knew how to, Zidane and Ancelotti. They let the superstars play. They let them be themselves, express themselves on the field. They didn't, besides the big games, they really didn't use tactics and strategery a whole lot in these games.
Right.
They let them. So I think Kompany, if this is how he's going about it, letting that front three just be deadly between Kane, Diaz, and Issei, just letting them play with a stout defense, a stout midfield, but not intervening too much and allowing them to express themselves out there. Seemingly that's what they're doing. He's tapped into it. He's letting these world superstars play, and they're scoring goals and they're doing.
If he had the coaching pedigree that the previous two names you've just mentioned had, I'd be more about it. He fell into this job as a last choice because when they were going through all their Bayern Munich coaching problems, no one else took it.
Yeah, but is he gaining that experience to make him to help make him maybe not into Zidane, but into a Xavi Alonso or
no, he's not.
Michael Carrick.
He's not.
See what I did there?
I see that.
You know,
But no, he's not. Because if he doesn't have
we
to
don't
make...
know that yet.
Sure we do. If you show up at your job and all of your direct reports are superstars and do everything they're supposed to, you're good right now. But as soon as your team changes and you haven't had to make tactical decisions and stinker tinker with your team to get it tactically, figure out the relationships, you're going to fail there because you've never, just like Slot. Slot had an amazing Liverpool team the first year, did very little, won the league. Yay. Second year, where is he? Because he hasn't had to do those things in the first year.
I understand that, but this is Kompany's second year. And if he goes on to win a double this year, say he does win the Champions League and does win the league, that's not, you just don't happen circumstance into that. You're doing something right with that team to win those two.
You have a stout team.
But Bayern hasn't always won the Champions League. Like Bayern haven't. It's Real Madrid that have won them. It's PSG. When's the last time Bayern's won a Champions League?
I do want to say one thing
been
to that.
Forever.
Though.
If he wins it with them, that's an accomplishment. Right, he's not through it yet, but they've played great in this tournament the same way that they're blowing the league away.
I realize that.
So I think you got to give him a little bit of a chance.
I give him some credit, certainly. But I don't think he's the manager that the second coming that everybody's talking about. He's not doing anything.
No, I don't think he is either. Because believe me, I don't know. Why am I arguing for Bayern? I'm a Dortmund fan. But I think it's
you like being an oppositionist.
Yeah, at times.
Well, wasn't this a story that people would say about Pep too back in the day? He bounced from these really great teams.
Yeah, but in fairness to him, he won it. Barca, he won at Bayern, but he never won a Champions League there.
Yeah,
and then obviously we know what he's done at Man City. So you have to give him a little bit of time. He's still fairly young in his managerial career.
But no, not everybody's saying that. Everyone's like, Vincent Kompany's amazing. He's doing all these great things over there. He's not doing all these great things over there. He's got a stout team, and he doesn't have to do anything. So when the team eventually trades away, people retire, all that, he's not actually better for this because he didn't have to do any work. Or the work he would have had to do on a Bayern team that didn't have such a stout lineup, he would be learning from at a faster pace than he is now.
Well, I would say that all to be said, and I realize they would have to at least score 3 and shut the other team out. Real Madrid in the Champions League is still Real Madrid. And if they were a team that could surprise us and pull this off, it's no light second leg to go against Real Madrid in the Champions League.
No, but they will be going back. I mean, Bayern are going back to the Allianz to so going back home. So to go away on the road in the first leg against, the team that's been the greatest in this league, in the Champions League, that's a pretty good win there. Pretty good win on the road. So we'll see. It should be a fun one. When do we know when that next one is by chance?
Yep.
Oh, the end of the month, April 29th. Yeah.
Wait, is it not sooner than that?
No,
it's April 20. Okay, end of the month. That's the second legs. You are correct, sir. All right, sticking with Champions League today, there was a minor shock as Atletico Madrid went to Camp Nou and beat Barcelona 2-0. Barca were the better of the two at the start, but a lone counter in the 40th got Kubarasi sent off for a deny of goal-scoring opportunity, and the ensuing free kick, Julian Alvarez's brilliant free kick, gave Madrid the lead. Sorloth, by the way, another great Star Wars character or creature name.
Yes, right.
It's a Sorloth from the planet Vakai. Sorloth made it 2 in the 70th to seal the first leg. So we again ask, who is moving on?
I want Atletico Madrid to move on.
Oh, I do too.
I kind of think with how Barca has been, I think I would favorite Atletico in this situation.
I agree, especially going home to Madrid and with like a Diego Simeone as coach, like their home form and how they play the stout defense is going to be very hard for Barca to score. With that said, even before the goal and when they were a player down, they still were threatening the goal a bunch. Hit the crossbar, hit the post. Rashford looked like he was just bossing the game. And please continue to do that so that Barca will pay up a hefty sum and you can go and you can take his $250K a week or however much.
Or maybe he comes back to after this loan spell to Man United and Carrick can
make and if Carrick stays in charge, I think he can talk sense into him. You're a Man United kid, yada yada yada. I want you here, but besides that, Barca looked good and they looked threatening. It was the counter from Atletico Madrid, which they've been so good at over the years, that really hurt them here. And then, the Sorloth goal was more just being a man up and a ball going to the box and a good finish there by him. But that counter changed that game because at first it was a yellow, had to go to the monitor to see if it was a red. While it didn't look purely intentional, it's still a foul, brings him down the side of the box. But that free kick from Alvarez, go and watch that, because that is one of the most prettiest free kicks that you will see this season. Yes, it's in a good position for him to hit it, but he hit it with so much curve and pace that the goalie almost got there, maybe got a fingertip to it, but it rattled the net with just so much force. It was a brilliant free kick.
Yeah,
Sorry, there was a breath, and I thought it was time.
Oh, that's
for
okay.
the thing.
I was just really saying that I want Atletico Madrid to win it all, so that when Griezmann comes to Orlando City, he will be Champions League winner, Antoine Griezmann.
Yes, World Cup and Champions League winner.
That's why I want them to win. All right, looping back to the FA Cup, the Sunday match ended up a pretty fun one in the end, as Leeds thought they were cruising to the next round. But West Ham said, it's not going to be that easy, folks, as in the 93rd and 96th minutes of play, as they tied it up.
Too bad a bunch of their supporters didn't get to see any of that.
Hilarious. That always makes me laugh when that, I guess, American sports were always like stay till the end because you never would know what happens. But
it wasn't like 4 up. It was 2. Anything could happen. Yeah. I feel like
those Brits, man, they definitely get pouty and leave early. Anyway, following 2 scoreless extra time periods, Leeds would eventually see it out with a 4-2 penalty conversion to advance. So with both teams at the bottom of the table, how big would silverware be for Leeds?
We used to have this.
That would be massive.
We have this like every other year. Where like, what if they win the FA Cup and get, relegated, or what if they win the Champions League and get relegated?
Who was the only team to do that?
Oh, we did this as a. Who was the only? I forget. Was it Lee? Was it no? Or was it the
Roberto Martinez's Wigan?
Ah, right.
Won the FA Cup, got relegated.
I don't think they're in any danger of winning it with who's left in that league, but maybe they'll go. But then again, if it's Man City to the final.
Well, they got Chelsea up next.
And your same inconsistency stories. I mean, anything could happen.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, listen, who won it last year? Palace.
Who?
So yeah.
God.
They're still around.
Man, what's nuts? You just said Palace. And I couldn't even tell you where they're where are they sitting at right now?
16, 17?
14.
No, 14.
God,
17.
They have, not worse for them because you don't want to be relegated. But in terms of like conversation, they've just disappeared because it's not like it's the bottom 3 where people are talking about it or the top. But boy, they just, after what a season, they blew it in the FA Cup to a real low team, and then it's just nothing else.
Yeah, but they're still in Europa League, I think.
Yeah,
are they?
Watch them win that.
Yeah, double check that, but I'm almost positive there. Anyways,
that's you, Ferris.
Oh, it's yeah. Duh. And finally, we end with Arsenal, so we will give
Yes.
An extra 2 minutes here. Like, not like we haven't for all the others, but so on Saturday, the Gunners got bumped from the FA Cup following their Chupacabra Cup final loss. A 2-1 loss this time away to Southampton at St. Mary's down on the South Coast. Dumped Arsenal treble hopes. But fear not, Champions League is still in play, as yesterday a late Kai Havertz goal in the 91st minute was enough for the Gunners to get a slight 1-goal lead going into the second leg against Sporting. So we ask, how you feeling, Blake?
Well, I mean, the Champions League the win was like super. I'll take that. Because more of the regular squad, we'll call it, like, played that game, who I expect to see the squad that is trying to push ahead to the Premier League. And what Sporting Lisbon had won 16 games straight at home, and in the last 3 games had scored like 10 goals or 12, something like that. So to shut them down and really make them look like they weren't really posing a threat most of the game. I mean, there were some good saves by Raya. Don't get me wrong, but it just didn't seem like they were going to unlock Arsenal. Did you see that Martinelli assist is awesome to Kai Havertz? If you've not seen that goal, like, that's a really sweet goal. And that 1-0 victory kind of reminiscent of the season where they had been doing well, like sort of toughing these games out and winning by any way possible. So I like that. With the FA Cup dump out, like, I don't know, just a wretched game. One club came in to want to do it, the other didn't. I don't know. The lineup was what the lineup was. I just a really ugly game. I don't know what else to put on that, but it was certainly nice to see the Champions League match yesterday look like the way Arsenal had gotten to the top of the league this season by playing a stout defense and doing what you need to get at least that 1 goal. So there you go. That's how I feel.
Is the FA Cup dump out all Kepa's fault?
I mean, if you look at that calendar and you look at like the Carabao Cup final into a quarterfinal for the FA Cup into Champions League, like, God, that is a brutal run.
You had 2 weeks off there. Get out of here. Just come on.
No, I'm just saying that.
Man City didn't have any problems against Liverpool. They bashed them forward, and they were the first ones to play at like 7 a.m. So what is that, noon over there? It wasn't Kepa's fault in the FA Cup. You can talk about, injuries and that sort of thing in some regard, but you lost to a championship team. You're top of the table. But I don't think you can, to Ron's, I don't think you can blame Kepa at all for that one.
I agree to disagree.
They don't.
Give me a break. That back line does not.
Let's get on.
That back line does not play.
I'm putting you in the penalty box.
Does not play well with Kepa. He does not play out the back, and the team plays in. It does not work well. It does not work well. So it's not totally his fault. No, the rest of the team was real slouching on that one. He didn't have like a big boner of a situation like he had in the previous one, but I
hope he didn't have a boner on the field. Get the damn whistle. We're getting that.
He didn't help. All I know is against Sporting Lisbon, Raya got the man of the match. So there you go.
Well, listen, if Kepa would have stood up straight and stayed at attention, maybe you guys would have won.
Yeah, if he'd played well in that game, yeah, maybe. We need to bring that back. Pulling a boner. That's some classic. That's classic, like 40s, 50s talk. Oh, I pulled a boner. Totally made a mistake and crashed the car. What a boner.
He's not playing against Bob Cousy.
Didn't I send you guys those?
The greatest thing with the ball ever to see.
Those old Batman comics where that was the colloquial term for it. So it's like Joker being like, I'm going to pull the biggest boner on Batman ever. That stuff makes me happy. Let's blow that halftime whistle.
I think you already do that. I don't even know.
Take us away to Ron's beer news. With no boners, all beer.
Nice. Gentlemen, are you guys excited
For
the World Cup in the summer?
Sure.
I know a lot of people who aren't,
I
and that's mostly ticket holders.
Yes.
I did just get excited for something locally.
Okay.
They're doing a cool bar passport. I just got the information sent to me today. I got to buy it before next Friday for Lancaster City, where you go around and watch matches at 16 different places. You get cool stuff. You win prizes or whatever. And it's this like World Cup, like they can't call it that obviously, but like it's this like soccer passport. And I went, I just got excited to go watch some World Cup matches at my local bars. And it's sad because that was today, and it was followed by a sad thought around what you are saying, Ron, how I've kind of been negative about it because everything has been kind of negative about it here in the States.
So I would say that when you go to buy this ticket for your passport, make sure that when you enter the lottery, in order to be deemed worthy of the privilege of sitting on endless queues, bad redirects, and broken down websites, that the ticket that you actually bought will be replaced in surge pricing issues, and it will also be bumped and moved due to VIP and other hospitality packages. So good luck getting your ticket.
I love the release of last minute tickets. Oh, never mind. These are $10,000 tickets.
Yeah. And they're ones that didn't sell previously, but because it's surge pricing, which, what are we, Uber?
Yeah.
Like, come on. So I wrote into ChatGPT before we started this. And this is my prompt. Can you give me information on why ticketing for the FIFA World Cup in 2026 is such a mess? And here's what it had to say. Here's the real picture. World Cup tickets feel like a mess because multiple structural issues are all happening at once. Pricing, demand, tech, and distribution. It's not one failure. It's a system under massive pressure. And I mean, that more or less sums it up, right?
Yeah.
The demand is completely out of control, right? For 2026, there have been hundreds of millions of ticket requests for only a couple million actual tickets, right? One report noted millions applying for 1 million tickets, and that's just the early phase. FIFA itself has said demand, if everyone got a ticket that tried, it would have staffed 211 World Cups.
Wait, say that again?
If everyone who tried to get a ticket in these windows were able to get a ticket, it would have filled the audiences for 211 World Cups. That's how many people were trying. Now,
That's the demand, yeah.
So the next hard part is this dynamic pricing model, right? FIFA introduced that dynamic pricing for this tournament. Final tickets have surged to, guess how much? A relatively cheap kind of top of the bowl seat is for the World Cup at this moment.
Would that be a category 4 seat?
I think it's 3.
Okay.
$2,700.
$3,000.
Both of you are incorrect. $11,000
For
as of today.
Category 3.
Category 3. Yep.
Not the Hurricane. My
Right.
God.
Prices are rising mid-sale, right? Depending on demand. So you log into the website, you've gone through your standing on the head in the corner with fingers crossed and toes crossed while chugging a beer, and you manage to get in to buy a ticket. You are expecting that the ticket price on your initial website pick is the price you're paying. However, by the time you went through your 10-minute allotment to get all of your information in to pay for it, before you can click, there is a price adjustment. And so all the people that bought tickets in those 10 minutes while you were entering your information raised your ticket price in 10 minutes while you were logged on picking your seats. So this is causing complete chaos because fans don't know, A, which tickets they're going to get, like in the stadium. Where am I going to get these? Right? Because just because you bought a ticket in a category 2 location, when the VIP adjustment and the hospitality packages adjust for their surges, you can get bumped to category 3 and category 4 because of the amount you paid, not because of the seat you bought.
This is completely inscrutable. Even if you've got money, let's just say you got the money to buy it, even just buy, like, it's inscrutable to understand what's happening. This is so stupid. When are they going to be on StubHub for $50 when they don't sell? Like,
well, to be honest, FIFA is not allowing that because you have to go through FIFA to resell your tickets.
Do you think there will be empty? Do you think there will be some matches early on that are empty like they were for the World Cup?
No, because FIFA will go and
they'll give them away. They'll do something on their
They'll
site.
do everything they can to make it look like this is the biggest World Cup ever and that they had no problems.
Yeah, you just keep looking in the background and when you start seeing people with 8, 9 fingers on each hand, you're going to know it's just AI being
right.
ChatGPT. Give us a FIFA crowd in the background. Like,
right. So as I was saying, all this dynamic pricing, everyone, so far the reports are overwhelming that the people who bought tickets feel like they've been priced out, misled, and baited and switched. So the fact that prices are changing during your checkout window, that 10-minute, that's like just wow, completely unfair. Right?
Well, Ron,
so
this
now,
is a nonprofit that needs to make sure they can function.
It is the world's largest nonprofit, both by organization size and the money in the bank.
And this is, guys, I don't know if it's just the prevalence of like frustrating news in the news. This is why I just am finding it hard to be. It doesn't feel like a World Cup summer to me. There's just so much crap around this with FIFA. And some of this really started too with the one in Qatar. Where it was like, we moved everything in a season to make this work in Qatar. Even the way that it got pulled, you're like, man, what is going on here? And like, I don't know. It's just so smacks of shady. There's like a part of me that doesn't even want to support it. Like,
yeah, but the hard part. I absolutely get what you're saying, and it is. The problem is they have a stranglehold on this.
Oh, sure,
right?
Sure.
Until it hits their pocketbooks, until people boycott games, don't buy these seats, don't do those sort of things, it's not going to change because they know people are going to pay these prices. They know that what can they really do when the fine print says you're not guaranteed to be in this category because you only paid $3,000 and you didn't pay $5,000.
Well, and Ron,
unless there's some, which I highly doubt, but unless there comes out there's a class action lawsuit or any of those sort of things that come to it with, then and it hurts their pocketbook, they're going to keep doing this.
So I'll get a little further down and talk about that there are already legal actions coming. So the dynamic pricing thing, we covered that. The system is intentionally complicated, right? Ticket sales happen in multiple different phases. Many tickets are allocated only via lottery draw, and early access. This is a really interesting one. Early access requires specific payment methods. There were Visa only phases. There were MasterCard only phases. So if you got into the window, those were not advertised. So if you got into the window,
But you have Discovery.
yeah, you have the Discover card, you don't have Visa, or you don't have MasterCard,
Yeah.
right? You get into the window and then you start to pay, and then it says, sorry, we don't accept Visa, or sorry, we don't accept this, or sorry, we don't. How is that ingratiating to anybody?
It's not. It's isolating.
So it's confusing for the fans. It's really unfair, and people don't know when or how they actually have a chance to buy tickets. So couple that with a massive traffic load crippling their websites, right? Website crashes, long queues. People have sent screenshots of them being in the lobby for over 108 minutes. Then they get redirected, but the site is crashed, so they lost all 108 minutes and have to start over. So that is another thing. Seating transparency issues, fans buying premium categories, getting assigned worse seats because they bought before the surge pricing. So now
You got bumped down.
the whole thing gets bumped down. You bought a category 2, but because you only paid $1,200 for it, that's what a category 4 is now. So now you're bumped to category 4 seats, right? The
Bait and switch.
Yeah. Hospitality distorted the market, right? They reserved most of the quote good seats were never actually available for general sale. All of the quote good seats, we'll call those like 50-yard line kind of seats, right? Those were only ever open for hospitality, but that was never communicated through the sale of the website. So it looked like you could buy any of these locations. And when you tried, you bought them, but you were redirected and given different seats because hospitality and VIP own those seats. So another lack of communication, right? Forces people to buy expensive tickets early only to get bumped to lower things, right? So this has prompted, fans working legal action. And there are several pending lawsuits with allegedly more on the rise as fans start talking to each other to talk about what their experience is like, and then feeling like they've been bait and switched, go to law firms. Law firms can't wait for this kind of stuff, right? Which I can't say they're wrong in this. But the Bank of FIFA has a lot more money than the bank of pretty much any other country. So we'll see if any of these lawsuits actually come through. And if they do, it's going to be a monetary compensation, which, how's that really going to hurt FIFA?
Yeah, is it really going to hurt their pocketbook, right?
So it's quite a mess there.
It's wild to I'm on an MLS Reddit thread, people talking about this that have actually purchased and stuff. And it's just wild. People are like, I bought this and it was category 1. And then when it went through, as you said, it was category 2. So what's really happening is they're saying what it is. So you go ahead and buy it and then switching it at the last minute. So then they can sell this for more money.
Yeah.
And just it's so obvious. But who's going to go after them? The DOJ in this day and age? Not likely. I don't know what's.
And was it somewhere in the fine print? When you go to check out of something, you click this to agree to terms. You do that for agree with terms. Was it somewhere in there then the fine print that said you're not guaranteed and that you could be bumped to any category depending on the surge value?
So I'm sure it is. Right? FIFA's not stupid.
Right.
They may be nefarious, but they're not stupid. So I'm sure that is. However, my understanding from a legal standpoint is if you are tucking and hiding language and not making it known, have you read and accepted the terms that state X, right?
It has to be reasonable.
If you don't read those terms,
that's
okay,
on you.
Right? That's on you. But if you're clicking that and you actually have read it, or they've tucked it under, like the government did in the Patriot Act, where they didn't actually write a bill. They just said entry 49 in this document, page 33, paragraph 7, word 8, change to if. So if you try to read the Patriot Act, there's nothing actually to read other than a whole bunch of corrections to other bills and laws. So then you'd have to go research those other bills and laws to figure it out, right?
So you want to hear like straight from people dealing with it? Like here's just a level of how bonkers this is. On this Reddit thread, some people are chiming in about their experience. This one guy actually kind of sort of has a positive one, but listen to this. And again, this is a company with how much money to pay whatever they need to get their system to set up correct. So he says, I know I'm in the minority here, but I bought category 3 seats during the resale period, and I got placed 4 sections toward midfield into category 2 territory. It benefits me, but I don't think they know what they're doing. Edit update. It looks like category 3 in Kansas City grew by 2 sections toward midfield, but I'm still 2 sections into category 2 then. And then a guy says, hey, asking for an idiot, me, how does one find out where their seats they bought actually are? To which the original poster goes, I had to go to the resale marketplace, click I want to resell my tickets, and then click view my tickets so I could see what they were to add to see. And that was how he could find out where his seats actually were. Like, so there are several levels of, hell, there could be a level of, what's that never attribute to malice, what could be incompetence. There's a level to this that could be complete incompetence on the technical level at this as well. That just looks, and we assume FIFA is just going to be shady, or maybe it's somewhere in between. But man, if you read some of these, just stories of people, it's even the ones who successfully purchased, again, it's inscrutable when they describe the process of trying to figure anything out, even now that they actually technically own tickets. What a mess. God, they're really bad, man.
Yep. So
I don't even know.
I long for the simple days of apartments for cats. It was a much simpler corruption time then.
Yeah, we knew what the apartment was for. It was a single apartment.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as they announced that we were going to have a World Cup, I was like, ugh. People that know that I'm into soccer and all that were like, are you going to go? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
You know how bad this is going to be to try and buy tickets?
I think it's worse. I think it's worse than could have thought. I mean, and we haven't even kicked the ball in the tournament yet.
You remember I mentioned to you guys when I lived in Connecticut last year, the old the neighbor I had that worked at ESPN, and we're like, hey, we're trying to get a group together. I have found out that now they're like, because I was like, hey, I'm not that far from you, man. Like, if you guys still want to get together, like, they're like, it's a mess. It's so impossible. Like, we can't figure out, because they were trying to get a section of tickets, and they've finally given up off of how insane it's been. And these are folks who work for ESPN,
the interesting thing is we'll never actually know how bad it is and whether or not the tickets sold out, because FIFA is a not-for-profit and they don't have to release this information. So we'll never actually know how good or bad the sales were, or if they actually sold out or not, because they don't have to release that information.
Freaking A.
I mean, I really don't have much reason to support the tournament at all. Right?
I think that's
the US isn't going anywhere.
I think that's how I feel, man. Like, it's hard to be excited. Our team is, I'm not, obviously I'm going to support them, but I'm not feeling confident in a good showing. And all this other stuff. I mean, there's some feel good stories, with countries qualifying and stuff that, I'll keep up with, but I don't know. Remember those days, like, we'd go out of our way to go see it, to go to stuff downtown, and like even just do watch parties and stuff, let alone, I mean, obviously we couldn't buy tickets. It wasn't in our country, but
is when the ball starts to be kicked around in this tournament, a lot of these things do get forgotten about. it's not the team's fault, right? It's not Germany's national team's fault. It may be Italy's because they're not in it again, but that's besides. No, I'm kidding. It's not. It's not Optivore. It's not France's fault. They're not controlling this, right? It's not like they're playing at their home stadiums controlling what the ticket prices is. This is a greater hand that just has a stranglehold on this, and saying you want to play for this most prized, gold ball of a trophy. Here's what you got to do. Here's where you have to come to play.
Just made at Tiffany's.
Well, that's fantastic.
Just like the Club World Cup multi-access train.
Yeah, but that thing was cool. At least had a key to it, and you can unlock it.
That's the biggest science nerd joke that if anybody gets it, I'll be super happy about.
I think it's just a thing. And I agree. I know what you're saying, Ferris. And I want to, that's, I guess what I'm looking forward to is if look at the highlights and look at the craziness this is and stuff. It just feels gross in a way that some of the Qatar kind of got there because it was shady how the whole the multi-year potential bribe for that and everything
alleged
and that was getting there. It was getting there. Brazil, how much underpaid labor that got people killed working on stadiums. I mean, it's all right there. And this just feels, I don't know. There's just something different this go round to me that just it sets my teeth at edge with this particular World Cup from FIFA.
We also haven't even talked about the revenue that the cities are supposed to get from FIFA and the various, money that the cities are supposed to be making, even though they are on the reimbursement hook from both the U.S. government and FIFA. So you have FIFA saying, we'll reimburse you your cost. You just have to prove it. Right. And the same thing the federal government is doing for things like, security and transport, things like that. Right. But a lot of these places don't actually have the money to put out for this to happen first. Right. Look at the Patriots Stadium. That's one small town of 30,000 people. They don't have the, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank that it's going to take to provide for security and get reimbursed. They are required at the city's expense. They'll get reimbursed, but they have to have all these specific watch party locations. They have to have fan zones and things like that. All that has to be put on by the city, and they'll get reimbursed for security by the government and portions of the fan zone by FIFA. But if they don't have the money to put that on in the first place, yet the organizers just pushed it through and said, yeah, it'll be okay. Right? So there's going to be shortfalls in most of these cities in America. I can't really speak for Mexico or Canada, but I can't imagine that they're in all that different a state. So we haven't even talked about that aspect of it. This is just what they're doing to fans. Imagine what they're doing to the host city.
And the host cities don't pitch the way necessarily you know what I mean? I don't know. It just bums me out because I just want to be excited about football.
It could be so cool.
Yeah. I still want to
really could
get my Panini stickers, but it just bums me out.
All right. That's enough of the depressing news that's fit to drink.
Jeez, can you proportion another beer, Ron? Good Lord.
I got to go get it in the fridge.
That brings us.
Bend over and I'll show you.
That's what FIFA's doing to us, Blake.
That could not have been a better button push for that. Yeah. Oh man.
Or as the old wise Rana Financial once said,
romper room f***ery. It is indeed. You want to crack this?
All right, yeah. Do you want to explain this one?
Sure.
What do we have in here?
So, as part of cleaning out the fridge effort, the beer fridge effort, we have a brew that we've had the brewery on, certainly, but I don't think we've had this particular beer. French Canadian Unibrew.
Been a while. Yeah, we had Unibrew, but it's been a while. Yeah.
This one is the Blanche Tremblay.
Even has the you can see it even has the foil on it. I got to get off of it.
Fancy. Straw-colored body with a thick head. This smooth and refreshing wheat beer is known for its subtle, spicy bouquet and citrus notes. 5% on the old IBV, 10 IBU. Should be pretty good.
All right. You want to hand me your cup here?
It's paired best with whitefish, salads, and the old goat cheese.
A little whitefish and some goat cheese, bro. I'm down with that. Oh, get that crispy little skin on there. I haven't had a good Unibrew in a while. That was a good old classic one to snag, man. It's been a bit.
Yeah. It's been fun cleaning out the beer fridge. You're like, oh, I have this in there? And we still have 2 bet beers.
I have to get myself a beer fridge. I was
about to say, you have to get yourself a bet beer fridge?
No, a beer fridge. Not a bet beer. I don't need a bet beer. I don't need that. I'm scared I have one coming. At some point in the pod, I have to do the unicorn fart beer that I was given. I still haven't tried that yet.
This is a bit more mellow than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
It's not as spicy.
No, that's what I was going to say. It's very smooth on the spice. Has a hint there, but not. And then it has a little bit more fruity notes to it than I would have thought as well. Quite good, though. Quite good.
Would you call it tasty, my friend?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's still better than any Australian beer I've had to date.
Aussie. No.
That I already miss your roulette though. My Lord, that was delightful is what I'll call that. That's what that was. I loved every minute of that. And I'm sad that that's over.
Glad we could entertain.
Oh, you did, my friend. You absolutely did. All right. Well, should that lead us over to the Liga's roundup?
Did you blow the halftime whistle? Bring us back?
I got to blow the halftime whistle.
Amateur.
Are you new?
No. Well, I will tell you, I screwed something up. I tried to grab my soundboard and drug it over. And when I did, I clicked a thing that changed the layout of the tiles and I was panicking going, where? Oh God, where they're all out of order from what I'm used to right now. And I don't know. I don't know how it did that. It's never done that to me before.
Honestly, this has not been one of our smoother pods. We're having camera issues on this side. We're
oh yeah. When it comes time for me to end this episode, I don't even know how I'm going to do it. Looking at
we're cursing. We're bouncing back. This is we're struggling. We're talking about apartments and cats and
man,
all sorts of stuff.
I think I blame FIFA.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
that's the correct way of going about this.
I think that just got us in a weird spot.
That's another one to add to the old bleep
write
sheet.
It down to the bleep sheet.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did I miss it?
Yeah,
sure did.
I'll throw that in.
Oh yeah. So we're all right at the La Liga's roundup. Let me see if I have the whip around here.
Somewhere. Oh, I got it. No, I've got it. It's in a different spot than I'm used to.
Fair enough. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kick it over to our Scottish correspondent as the Scottish Premiership was back this past week.
All right. That's right. Scottish football's back, baby. And this past weekend cooked up a banger of one, which saw the race for the Premiership get cut down to near but a single point. We'll start off in Glasgow at the Ibrox, which saw Rangers take care of business with a 4-2 win over 7th place Dundee United. Then on Easter Sunday, Celtic took care of their business as well with a 2-1 win over the Dundee FC. But it was the league leaders in the Hearts who conceded within 7 minutes of going ahead. So 2-2 is how it ended. A point apiece And that point is the only mere margin of difference for Hearts atop of the league, as they're now sitting at 67 points and Rangers 66 and Celtic at 64. Squeaky bum time on your haggis honkers for sure. Oh, and on the contrary to our giraffe tall ass yank friend who thought there were only 33 match weeks, there are in fact 38 match weeks, with the top 6 teams battling out between match weeks 34 through 38 for the Scottish Premiership Championship in those coveted Championship League spots. So now, with 6 match weeks left, we ask, can the Hearts hang on, or will ours break?
I think ours break.
Oh,
I want them to hang on, but
it is squeaky, my friend. Oh.
I mean, Rangers goal difference. Like, I feel like Rangers have the easier schedule in the next. Oh man,
it gets weird because like they have one more match week left, and that's technically the end of, like, I guess what the regular season would be. Is that fair to call that? Maybe
I guess.
I don't know,
because it's kind of like their playoffs,
right? So it goes into the third match week 33, which will be this. Saturday and Sunday. Celtic and Hearts play on Saturday. Rangers don't play until Sunday, and then you go into playing 34 and 35, and I think they'll all play each other in some point, but only the top 6 teams are the ones that really matter in this. It's a little confusing, but nonetheless, it's they're going to be playing out those last kind of 4 weeks there. Really, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I just don't know if they're going to be able to hang on. I hope they do.
I certainly want them to. I was on their website the other night, just looking at that kit. Oh, and if they win, I'm getting a black one and a red one.
It's always tough when you're being hunted down by people with so much history behind you.
I think we said this on the last match week. Celtic host Hearts. Match week 38. That's what's on the schedule right now.
I saw a stat that is
Hearts and Rangers. Sorry, real quick. Hearts and Rangers in 2 weeks. May 4th. 3 weeks, I guess.
I saw a stat that said that it's been 40 seasons, roughly 40 seasons since a team won the Scottish Premiership that wasn't Celtic or the Rangers.
I think so.
How many?
40 seasons.
Oh, see, now Hearts, man, you got to do this. Like, come on.
Where did I see that?
That would be awesome. No, I think that makes sense. I can't, because what Sir Alex did it with Aberdeen, but that was,
I think that was the last one.
That was early 90s. Early 90s, I think. But that might have been the last time.
Well, now
and we think that Real Madrid and Barcelona have some dominance, but man, yes.
The last time neither Celtic nor the Rangers won the Scottish title was 1984 or 85. The 84-85 season, right? Aberdeen, managed by Sir Alex Ferguson, won the championship that year, which was the last club outside of the old firm to secure a flat.
Much earlier than I thought. Okay. Wow.
40 consecutive seasons.
That's wild. That's wild. All right. Well, thank you to Blake McManus for
you're welcome.
filling us in there.
I hope you like the bad pipe edition.
Oh, yeah. That's a great ad.
Always.
Great ad. All right. Real quick before we get into some National League, let's stay with the National Women's Soccer League here in the States. And Match Week 5 ended, or for most teams, Match Week 5 ended this past week. On Friday night here in Orlando, you had a heck of a game. Late goals here. The clutch, Haley McClutchin with 2 goals, one in the second half to make it 1-0. That was in the 84th late in the game. And then a lovely Giselle Thompson kick to tie it up 1-1 in the 92nd. And then in the 98th, off of a Marta corner, ball bounced around the box. The clutch, Haley McCutcheon scored again to make it 2-1. That 2-1 win over Angel City here in Orlando bumped Angel City down because they were top of the table going into this match week.
Yep.
They are now down in 4th. Some other results from the weekend included San Diego getting a win over Boston. Boston still winless. They only have 1 goal to their name. They're on a -6, so they are not off to a good start for that franchise. But you had on Friday night as well, you had Houston Dash and Racing Louisville play out, which was a wild match. 4-3. 1, 2, 3, 4 different penalties in this game. You had a penalty in the 39th by Houston, one in the 23rd and 81st, both converted by Taylor Flint. And then you had another one in the 90th +9 by Houston. And they edge out Racing Louisville 4-3. And Louisville, another team who are winless on the year. Now, it should be noted, both Racing Louisville and Boston have only played 4 games. But only Louisville's gotten a point so far, as they have 1 draw on the season.
Bay FC. I was happy about Bay FC Carolina, right? Bay FC comes out cooking.
Yeah.
3-1 over the North Carolinians.
You had Utah with their first win on the year as well. They're up in 7th. They're two, not their first one, sorry. Their second win of the year. They're 2-1-2. They're 0 goal difference, 7 goals, back-to-back wins, because they won the week before that against Boston, the week before that. 1-0 over Chicago. Chicago not off to a very good start as well. They're a good team, though, so it's a little surprising that they aren't doing fantastically well. As soon as they get Mouse Swanson back, I think they'll be kicking. But Utah Royals are a team that they offloaded Ali Sentner to Kansas City last year, but with it's a Pasternak up front. They are doing quite well, and they're hanging alive in most games. So Utah aren't quite the pushover, seemingly the pushover that they have been in years past. Moving on to kind of the Saturday, Sunday games. Kansas City finally get another win here, 2-1 over Gotham, and Gotham not off to a great start either. The current holders of the championship, sitting down there in 13th place with only 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses so far on the year. Then you had North Carolina 2-2 with Portland Thorns. That was kind of a fun back and forth game. Good goal in that by Ashley Sanchez. She's having herself a very good year so far. And then Seattle Reign and Denver Summit play to a 0-0 draw. And the lone game on Sunday saw Washington Spirit get, I believe, before I say that, I believe it's their first win as well. Yep, their first win of the year, because they've only had 3 draws and 1 loss so far. They were 2-1 winners away to Bay FC. That was much needed by the Spirit, who have not necessarily been off to the greatest of starts, but got an own goal in there, and then a gift Monday goal late in the game to kind of seal it for the Spirit. We go away for a few weeks here as international play, and some friendlies are occurring in the women's game, but we do so with San Diego Wave, top of the table on 12 points, and second Portland Thorns and Seattle Reign, both on 10 points, and Angel City down to 9th, along with Houston Dash on 9th. Our Orlando Pride currently sitting 6th on 8 points. Utah Royals in 7th and on 7 points. Washington Spirit in 8th on 6 points. And then that's where you have Denver, Bay, Kansas City, North Carolina, Gotham, Chicago, Racing, and Boston in that order. Some surprising teams down there, obviously, in Kansas City and Gotham, not off to particularly great start so far. But long season still. Go away for a few weeks, and I'll be back here at the end of the month. It's kind of your NWSL update, and then we take it over to Blake.
All right.
Across the pond, National League update.
That's right. National League North and South. I'll go so real quick. As I've mentioned in previous pods, we got a good friend of the pod, Mr. Lee Malaby. And I like following his beloved Darlow, Darlington FC. So they are in National League North. A quick reminder, the first team gets promoted. 2 through 7 are the ones that battle it out in playoffs to try and get promoted out of the National League North. Correct if I'm wrong, this is the just out of league, right? Technically.
Doesn't this get you into the National
This
League?
is get you into it if you're out of the if you're National League North, it gets you out of into the league play.
Into the National League.
So currently Darlington's sitting at 6 with 68 points. They recently April 3rd, so they had 2 quick games, but April 3rd and April 6th, Darlington lost 1-2 to the 5th place Scarborough Athletic, which is bad because that's who they're fighting out with, 5th through 6th. They have 69, 68, and 67 points, respectively. So it's very tight down there and easy to get squeezed out because 8th and 9th are sitting at 64 and 66 points. So Darlington lost the match like that was going to be could be a slide down, but they beat second place.
They had lost two before that, right? So that was their third in a row.
Yes, third in a row. So like this was like going to be a bad slide, but then they beat the second place team. To put that in perspective, the second place team has 88 points. 6th place Darlington has 68.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that's a huge win because if they can hold on and stay in this playoffs, the scariest teams in the playoff will be South Shields at second and probably Kidderminster Harriers at third. So man, I would love to see this happen. The Darlington Stadium holds 33,299 people, according to FootMob. And I just want to see the videos.
33,000?
3,299.
3,000. I was going to say.
I thought he said
we've seen pictures from our friend Lee. It don't look like there's
no.
33,000.
No.
No, sorry.
He knows. Yeah. I think that's the kind of stadium where 80% of the people by name. 3,299 folks are all who fit in that stadium. So they're doing really well. They've had some okay seasons, but this is the best they've done in quite a bit. And they've won some really good big games against a big club. Again, this is the league that has Macclesfield who beat.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, was that?
They knocked out Palace this year.
Palace. Right. That was the biggest upset. And it was beat
Cup
Palace.
Holders at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So Macclesfield.
In the third round. First
Right.
round where all the big boys start to join. Yeah.
They sit in 4th at 73 points. So, so a bit of a slide, but then beat the second place team. So who knows? We'll see how those dudes do.
Come on, Darlow.
I know.
Get on up into the professional league.
By the way, I mentioned they played like the 3rd and then the 6th. They're up to 43 matches right now. Dude, they play a lot of freaking matches.
So many games. And they have 3 more left, right?
Yeah, because right now the first place has 94 points because they're doing well, but also played so many damn games.
Well, and they got Marine, and Marine's down there in 12th, and then they have AFC Telford United, of course, the powerhouse that is. They're in 11th. And then you have Oxford City. Where's Oxford City at?
They're in 19th.
So hopefully,
Unbeaten.
Yeah, but they're
they
are. Look at that run from them.
So they're winnable games for them. They got 3 left to stay in the playoffs.
There's only one other team in the league that is unbeaten in their last 5, and that's Scarborough Athletic.
And that was the last team to beat Darlington before they played this last match. So, again, the Beautiful Game, the only podcast in America covering the National League North, and specifically Darlington FC. And it makes me happy. Oh my God, we got to put that on our tagline somewhere.
Yes, we do.
All right, gents, does that bring us to the end here?
And that sure does.
Beer mentions the pod. I had Lancaster Brewing's Milk Stout, and it has been a good one to sip on this whole episode.
We have had the Unibrew Blanche Assembly.
It is snazzy blazzy, but it tastes good.
And then we've also had from Big Rock Brewing the Tragically Hip Lake Fever Lager.
And that went down very smooth.
That was quite good.
As always, follow us on thebrutalgame.com, the socials, especially Untapped. We throw up all these beers and such. Leave us a rating and review. Please let us know if you do. Ferris, do you have a Zlatan quote for us? I really hope this. The one thing I am looking forward to the World Cup is Zlatan working it and us getting more quotes. That's the 100%. Highlight.
All right. You know the deal. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. Okay, so this is a slew of there's a slew of tweets and such that were involved Zlatan that he either responded to or they used the hashtag Dare to Zlatan. So this book is comprised not only of his quotes, but the funny things like the various tweets and stuff that involve Zlatan all thrown into here. So I'll read you two because they're kind of short. It says, "Hey, at Greg Douglas, failure is the first step to success. The second step is growing a ponytail. Hashtag Dare to Zlatan."
That's good.
The next one. "Dear Armored Guy, a wise man once said surprising your opponent is the key to surprising them. That wise man was Zlatan. Hashtag Dare to Zlatan."
That thread needs to still be happening. Do we still hashtag these days? Do the kids do that? Or hashtag still a thing?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, it's a whole chapter of this book, I guess, if you will, where they're all various.
If we've dated our material.
Back when it was called that. Now I don't know what it's called. Do you X somebody? I don't know.
Yeah. Is it still a hashtag? Do you X them? I don't know. I can't keep up with these newfangled things. I got to have my lactate pill for my milk stout.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
Hey, man, stomach feels great. I'm going to sleep great
that.
tonight. Yeah, exactly. All right, gents. Well, that wraps us up for the Brutal Game. Since we just had Easter, I'll ask the question in the spirit of renewal. What do you call a bunch of rabbits walking away from you?
Hop and gone?
A receding hairline. Love the beer, cherish the game. The Brutal Game.
Romper room